like you said, obviously, a lot of times when we play away from home, we deal with the field kind of being smaller than what we're used to and stuff like that. So that's one factor. But also just our clashing styles. We're also a team that likes to be ball dominant and have the ball as much as possible. So it's definitely going to be a battle of who can kind of have more possession and go from there. And that's something El Paso does pretty well.
Hey, James, there was a lot of unknown going into this season just with the new coach and a bunch of new teammates. What have you liked what you've seen as far as the chemistry goes, and what do you think has contributed to the chemistry of the team so far this season?
The chemistry of the team has been awesome. We've become a pretty tight-knit group really quickly. A lot of guys are gelling really well, and it's a team, it's funny because there's some older guys and some way more experienced guys, and we have some younger guys who only in their first, couple of seasons. And there's really no split amongst the group still. The older guys blend in with some of the younger guys and everyone in between. Everyone gets along really well. And I think you probably see that on the field too, when we're playing and stuff like that, and when we're celebrating after scoring goals, everyone's really enjoying it and stuff. And that's something that's helped on the field big time, just kind of that chemistry between the group, and how everything's gone off the field so far has honestly given us a boost on the field also.
James, I may be remiss to ask you, but how did playing in Europe help you come back to the United States and help you continue your growth professionally now that you're playing in the second division of the United States as compared to as the second division in Scotland?
Yeah, I try and take something from all my playing experience, and second division in Scotland is definitely a challenging league. It was physical. I was, that was 2 years ago now nearly. So I was a couple years younger than I was, or am now rather. So that took some getting used to, like growing up and playing in a league with a lot of experience, strong guys who have had great careers and kind of, have that edge over me where I didn't have too much experience at that time. And yeah, it was just, like I said, I take something from wherever I've been. And being in Scotland, I think the physicality of the league and the pace and the intensity was something I had to adjust to, and I've tried to bring that into my game now that I'm down here playing here. And I think that's something that I try and put on the field: intensity, physical, and that kind of thing.
James, a quick question. So, your team's off to the best start in club history. You've been a big part of it. You've come up with 2 assists out of the 4 goals that are scored. What has been the key to your success this season, and the overall team success?
Personally, I've just kind of tried to trust my own game, and every night that we go out and play a game, I trust my ability that that I can provide something for the team. And I'm a player that likes to get on the ball a lot. I like to create. I like to excuse me. I like to be someone that's helping the team do things going forward and defensively. So that's kind of been it for me. I haven't really changed anything from last year. I think there's just been kind of better scenarios in the game where my passes have led to goal scoring opportunities and that kind of thing. And with the team this year, we definitely have guys with like a killer instinct, So I said that I have 2 assists this year, but really the guys who have scored the goals have done most of the work. I've just played the passes and they've gone on and do it from there. So having that kind of ability in the team and guys that can find the goal obviously makes my job way easier, just getting them the ball and letting them go on and try and make something happen from there.
James, last one from me. One subtle change that I've noticed from last year to this season was that I want to say you were predominantly a little bit more of a defensive midfielder, but this year it's kind of evolutionized to being a little bit more of an offensive midfielder. Does that kind of suit your game nicely to where you're contributing on the offensive end, whereas last year there was that little stopgap defensively where the midfield kind of had some issues just moving the ball forward?
It's funny because in terms of last year and this year, my role hasn't changed, too much. It's a very similar position. And I just think maybe we've had the ball a lot more this year. In times last year, we were definitely the team that was defending more and kind of only getting the fewer chances to grab possession, whereas this year, we're a team that gets on the ball and gets possession. And then, with Coach Wilmer, he's talked to me a lot and told me the kind of things that he likes in my game and the kind of things that he wants to see me get better at, which is stuff I kind of focus on in practice and hope that it comes out in the game. But in terms of offensively, I think my teammates trust me, and I think the coaches trust me to get on the ball as much as possible and try and create something from there. So whenever I get the ball in a good spot on the field, I'm going to try and make something happen, and hopefully it can lead to goals more times than not.
Thank you.
Any more questions?